Hello, I'm CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana. Across the Red River is beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. I'm starting to prepare for my dinner Monday, and I'm preparing first with something that is wonderful, but it is something that's going to take the longest to work with. I'm going to run down the menu, the final menu that I've decided on. I'm going to have uh, um, some charcuterie out, some cheeses and meats and things like that, and some little candies for cordials and things like that. I'll pick some of that stuff up just to have something to put in people's hands and everything when they come in as a welcome until, the little guests arrive. And it's one of these things, where you invite, 15, 16 people, and you always expect you want to plan for it and give them all a plus one and everything like that, but hey, if that many people do show up, I would be amazed. The most I've had in this apartment, I think I had a count of 16 people. I think, let me run through my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. It was 14 or 16 people or something. I forget. It was a whatever. But this is going to be so much fun. Look, um, starting on this is going to be the pastry dough, and this is actually a very simple recipe. It's a 4 ingredient recipe. It does take time because it is a dough that has to chill in between the different stages. The first thing you do is to create this dough. This is a very It would almost be a biscuit dough, except for there's actually no leavening in here because we want this to be a crispy, layered thing. So there's no actual leavening in here. It starts with 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. To that dry ingredient, a good teaspoon uh, of table salt. If you go a little bit over, it's not that big of a deal. If you go a little bit under, it's not quite that big of a deal, but you really do want to kind of keep it in that measurement. Uh, and there's no actual leavening in here. Um, this will probably pick up the quality that it needs as I'm working with it. What's going to happen is you take that and then about, a stick and a half. That's the measurement that I'm using of, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Of unsalted butter, which is wonderful because this is the butter that I have around all the time anyway. Uh, and Literally, the only reason I'm using salt is because salt is good for um, chemistry within food. It's got a chemical reaction with food. It's got a balancing, but it also is wonderful for helping to distribute flavor throughout the dough. Um, this is one of these things that without the salt, there really would be no flavor. You know, and let's see. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Stick and a half of butter. Uh, that's just the measurement that I know with this. Okay, so and then about you start to pinch that in dry, and to that you gradually add very cold ice water, a half a cup of ice water, and probably just a little bit at a time. And you want to do a little bit at a time because you want to eyeball it. You want it to have this kind of a little sheen, and then you'll work with it. And what's going to happen is it's going to have this pull apart texture. This is the quality that you want to get to at this first thing. And you can work with it and pull it apart. It's almost a Play Doh consistency. And what's going to happen when you get here, this is a good time because we really want to keep this cold. We don't want this butter to get too soft. We want to take this, make it kind of flat. After we've pinched the butter into the dough, we pinched the butter into the flour basically, and then when it started to collect and clump the flour, we gradually during that step added um, a half a cup of very very cold ice water. I used ice water. I put ice in the cup and added water, and then I worked with it gradually adding until I got to this texture. And then what I can do is pull it apart, and the whole idea is I'm going to take it out every couple of hours whenever I feel like fooling with it. Very clean hands, by the way. And then smash this, fold it over, smash it, fold it over, and we're going to start working on building layers. Every time we pull this out, we're going to do this a couple of times, and then eventually we're going to roll it flat, as fat as we can get it. Either roll it out or smash it on a floured surface. And I'm working with the towel on the table, uh, and then a pan, which is good for catching little, like I'm working. See, I literally just put this together, so it's great. It's a good savor of quality. And then so what's going to happen is I'm going to pull this out when I'm between my prepping steps for yesterday. I mean for tomorrow. I'm so dyslexic. I'm talking about tomorrow, calling it yesterday. It's all the same, right? We see we're starting to get some bubbles and holes in here. We're starting to get some of this flakiness that we want. This is, sometimes you hear about with the biscuit, don't overwork it. You don't want to activate the glutens. This, we want to activate the shit out of glutens. And yeah, and it's really going to expand and get very flaky over the next day. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this, flat as it is, I'm going to go get some saran wrap. I'm going to come over, wrap this dough in saran, and then it's going to go into the refrigerator because it's getting a little too soft to work with. Hang tight. So yeah, so flatten it. We're going to refrigerate it. And yeah, until we want this butter to get icy firm again so that I can break it out and start working with it in that folding. And what we're going to do is we're going to, when I'll tell you what, I will keep this video going. I'll pause it. And then when I get ready to come out, and I'll start doing the next part of how I'm going to knead this dough and work with it to get it into the layers, I will show you. And for you, it's going to be right after the click. So don't go away. Okay, so I'm here and I have just taken this dough. I've just unwrapped it and I have it sitting on this plastic wrap. And if I need to, I can even set this, I can even reuse this. No need to waste it. And I'm actually going to need to. I'm going to knead this a little bit onto this floured pan that I have a towel underneath it, and that helps keep it from slipping. And the most important thing to have in this step is a refreshing drink. I do have a little cold water here just in case we get a little, in case we need it, but we really won't. And the whole idea, I'm going to take this, turn it out here on this pan, and I want to stretch that sheet out real quick. In a little bit, I'm going to be returning this dough to this sheet of plastic wrap, so there's no sense in wasting it. Now, so what we're going to do here is just press down with the heel of the hand. You can even stand up and give yourself some leverage if you'd like. We're going to make this flat. Just really just work it. Get in there, just, push it. Give it a flip, The flour that is clinging to the outside of this as we're spreading it. That's great because what's going to happen is it's going to help keep the layers separated. Okay, what we'll do is we'll fold this here. One. And come on, and two. And we want to press down again. And we're doing this to get a lot of layers. I've seen various people do it. So once it starts coming out like that, we want to keep an eye because maybe we want to just do one more double fold like that and then rewrap it back in the refrigerator. We're going to pull this out periodically and repeat this folding 1 and 2. But hang on, I'll show you. Let me get this pressed out. You can use a rolling pin if you'd like. You always use your knuckles, whatever. What I want to do is I kind of want to get this shaped to be I kind of want to work it and get a bulk of this over here and make sort of a edge or corner here so this is kind of be start working this towards a square shape basically so that we can grab it and fold and then fold. You see how these layers are starting to build up, and the neater the folds, the better it's going to be. But yeah, let me press this down a little bit. And what we're doing is we're creating layers for that, whatever we decide to do with this, and you can do any sort of thing with this. This is just a basic recipe. Whatever we decide to do with it. It is getting tough. It's definitely getting tough, and that's the whole idea. You want it to be a little bit robust and to be able to hold up. But we also do not want this butter to melt on us. So we're going to kind of create a rectangle, square, whatever, something that's going to kind of fold, give us a couple of little, I don't know. let me work on being a little OCD with this shape here. But I really want this to be kind of, I want this to be able to kind of get a good form there. Give it another fold here, and it's starting to loosen up, and I really kind of don't want that. So I'm going to do this double fold one more time, wrap it back up. It's going to go back into the fridge. And yes, it's easier to do this without a phone in one hand. And I have completed that fold where I have folded and then one more, and then so I did this 3 folds like that. I brought it out, smeared it out on the thing, patted it, patty cake, did 1 fold, patted it down again, did a 2 fold, and then patted it down again and did another fold. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 folds. I mean, let me think for a second. there's a formula that'll let you know how many folds you can do. It's amazing. The more folds you can get on this, the more crispy your layers are gonna be. Uh, but you really want to do this a lot. One, two, one, two, one, two. So I guess with each fold you're creating another. Uh, uh, yeah, with each fold you're creating 2 layers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got I don't know uh, the math on this, because you're not just creating new layers, you're working with the layers that are already there. So it's a big, it's like it's working exponentially, building those layers exponentially. But we want to get several. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then those 4 we've got. So yeah, we've got easily, from my calculations, uh, yeah. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So each time we do that, we have 4, and then that 4 would be multiplied by 4 to give, would give us, yeah. So if we're multiplying by 4 every time, let's see, that's what we want to do. Uh, 8, 32. 32 by 4 would be, I don't know. I have no idea how to do it. What the hell? Never mind. You know what? Hang on. This is going to drive me bonkers if I don't do some math. I never thought I'd really need to do multiplication math in life, or that I would ever want to. I would have been a much better math student. Hang on. You know, this scrap paper here that I'm working with, I should have had my sister come here and do this, but I'm having to do some math, right? And I'm doing like the old math. So, and I'm working exponentially. Uh, uh, 4 folds give us, this is the pie, the crust. So we're folding it 1, creates 2, folding again, creates 1 and 2. Creates 1, 2, 3, 4. Creates 4 layers. Do it again. If we were doing it perfectly even, and I'll have to work on that, gives us 16 individual layers. 16 4 times over gives us 30. No. That is wrong. Gives us, ooh, I'm so glad. 16 4 times over gives us 64. And that's what I should have wrote here. And so 64. And then 64 would give us, so this is, God, I suck at this. That's why. Okay, so someone's going to correct my math. We're going to go about 256 layers. I don't really feel that's correct. It doesn't seem like it. But every time we fold that, we're folding and we're creating 4 layers out of what we had worked with. And so starting out with the really, really flat layer that we were working with, each time we fold it, one here and then one here. So the layers in between, we folded it there. Hold on. Exactly right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each time we fold that, we do that fold that I talk about, that fold and turn and fold again. Each time we do that, we are creating a pillar of 4 new layers out of what was already there. So we're multiplying those layers by 4, and then we're doing exponentially 4 times every time we do that. So that's the way I'm thinking of it. So we're doing really, really good, and we're not done yet. The more we work with this, the more those layers are going to get wonderful on the inside. So this is a good time while that's refrigerating, that we've got about an hour or so. We can come in here and clean off our surfaces that we need to work with. Always keep when we're working over there, just keep everything tidy, because we're going to come back to it later on and fold again. And this is one of these doughs that does really, really well sitting overnight. And then I won't be working with it finally until Monday. So this is Sunday morning at around 1 a.m. that I just completed that first fold like that, So, but from here on out, it's nothing but rolling really, really flat and getting as many folds as we possibly can. That's the secret on this one. And I can, at this point, if I wanted to, I could cut that into 2 different pieces and roll it and work with them. And maybe when I pull it back out, maybe I'll separate it and I will start working in two separate batches with that dough. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so back again after some time in the fridge, and I'm going to do 2 or 3 more folds of this dough. And yeah, hundreds, and I'm not even going to worry about counting. I'm not even sure my math is correct. I feel like each time I fold it, we increase it to another power of 4. And it's just exponentially, I don't really care that much about that, how many. But, so here we are, and just with my hand, you can roll it out with the rolling pin if you want to at this point. It is going to get difficult. It's going to get very hard to work with eventually. So, but I'm going to try to get a couple of more folds out of this, because I just love the idea of really, really thin, crispy layers that's going to work with this. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is this is kind of what some people would call a rustic or a rough puff pastry. And that is meaning that I took the butter and I cut it into pats, little pats of butter, broke it into pieces, not even like uniform necessarily, and basically just kind of pinched it in to the dough. And there's another method that is not a rough pastry cut. I don't know why. The yield is almost the same. Is that where you would take your dough, and you would without the butter, you would just take the cold water and the flour to a consistency very similar to this, and you would roll it out into a foldable consistency. Then you take your sticks of butter, and you would have them very hard, but you would pound them out and roll them out so one block of butter basically, and you would just continually fold that in between your dough. You'd wrap the dough around that butter, and then you would start your folding. It's really just a matter of convenience that I did it this way. The way that I described, where you take that one large rectangle smeared out bit of butter and start folding around that before you start your folding. Either way, it's gonna work either way. I have seen the results of both of those methods. Believe me, it really just doesn't matter that much. It really doesn't.